In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Samsung Galaxy A35 5G, giving you some first impressions. Let's go ahead and start this video. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the Galaxy A35 5G finally in hand in the studio. This device is kind of a weird one. So as you guys know, the Galaxy A55 is not going to be released in the United States, and we got the Galaxy A30 series back in the United States. But what's weird about this device is going to be released around $400, probably a little bit less than $400 to be quite honest. But this pretty much has the same specifications as the Galaxy A54. So anybody who was waiting for the A55 and that new Exynos 1480 processor, we're getting the Galaxy A35 5G in the US, and this is going to have the same processor as the Galaxy A54, the Exynos 1380. And not just that, pretty much most of the specifications that we're going to see on this phone are going to be the same as the Galaxy A55. We're gonna have the same resolution. We're gonna have the same 1000 nits brightness. We're gonna have the same IP67 water and dust resistance, same Super AMOLED display, 120 Hertz, 25 watt charging, 5,000 milliamp battery. Now you can go up from 6 gigabytes of RAM to 8 gigabytes of RAM and either 128 to 256 gigabytes of internal storage. And the version of the A35 that I got for this video has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage. Now some other specifications on this device. We do have Android 14 out of the box on this, One UI 6.1. So that's nice to see on here. The other cool thing is we're gonna have 4 years of operating system updates and 5 years of security patches with this device as well. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and unbox this. I did get this in lilac. It does come in like ice blue, it comes in navy blue, and it also comes in black as well, I believe. But let's go ahead and put that phone to the side. Under here, you're also going to get your quick start guide and everything else inside this box, USB Type-C, data cable, and of course our SIM ejector tool right here. I don't want to take all that stuff out of the box because it's not anything super entertaining, but you guys get the gist of what is inside of here. Again, if you order it from an overseas place, a lot of the time you are going to get a wall charger in the box with it, which is cool. But if you guys just buy this from Best Buy, there is no wall charger inside of the box. Super thin box right here. But let's go ahead and open this up. And one of the things I really liked about this device are the colors. This is a beautiful, beautiful color on this device. Lilac purple right here, or I guess you can just call it lilac. Amazing rainbow hue that we get in the light right there. Really, really nice looking. Definitely like how that looks. And as you guys can see, we get those lilac accents on the outside of our lenses right here, so that's super, super cool. And for the majority of the people out there, this is going to look exactly like a Galaxy S24, so nobody's even going to know that you have a cheaper device if anybody's worried about that for whatever reason. But as you guys can see, a 6.6 inch phone right here, so it actually is only 0.1 inches shorter than the Galaxy S24 Plus. So I'd say this is a pretty big phone. This is going to be very, very similar in size to that device, and it feels big in hand. So this is going to be a big boy right here. Again, at the bottom of the back of the phone, we're going to have that Samsung emblem right here, and this is going to be a glass back with a plastic frame on here that we'll get to in a second. But as far as our camera setup right here on the back, we're pretty much gonna have the same camera setup right here, a little bit lower on the ultra wide camera, but for our main camera we're going to have the same 50 megapixel wide angle camera. Our secondary is going to be our 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and I believe that was a 12 megapixel ultra wide that we got in the A54, so I guess that's a little different as well. And our third lens that we have right here is a 5 megapixel macro right there. This is capable of recording at 4K 30 frames per second or 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second. And of course we have our flash on the right side of that. Right side of the phone, of course, we have this new design. We have the key island design where this bump kind of goes up a little bit, and I kind of like this. I kind of like this design on the side of the phone. I wasn't even expecting any sort of change or anything for this year's A series devices, but I think it looks kind of cool. It feels comfortable in the hand. But obviously we have your volume up and down rocker right here. Just below that we have our power button. Top of the phone, of course, course, we have our noise canceling mic and we have our SIM tray. And if you guys would like to expand your storage, of course, you can expand your storage via micro SD card right there. And it obviously is a shared SIM slot. Left side of the device, absolutely nothing. And bottom of the device, of course, we have our speaker right here. And this device is going to have stereo speakers as well. And they're actually quite good. I did try them out earlier, just taking a little peek, and they are pretty nice. So this is going to be in duality with, of course, the headset right there that's going to be utilized as a speaker as well. Again, another noise canceling mic, and of course a USB Type-C port at the bottom of the phone right here. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and turn this on and see what this is all about. All right guys, so here we have the phone right here. If you guys are asking, this does have always on display, but we have a very bright display in here at 1000 nits. And as far as the haptic feedback goes on this as well, it does feel quite nice. So there's been no issues with that so far. Really liking how that feels. Of course, going into the drop down bar menu right here, we have our auto rotate, our sound, our flashlight, mobile data, hotspot, screen recorder. So we have a native screen recorder in here. Link to Windows, we have our quick share, our power saving mode, multi-control, QR code scanner, and of course our modes right there as well. And we have it in dark mode right here. And of course, just to verify for you guys really quick, we do have Android 14 UI 6.1. So as you guys can see, that is what we are rocking right now on the Galaxy A35. We have the front facing camera right here as well. And this is going to be a 13 megapixel front facing camera capable of recording at 4K 30 frames per second and 1080p 30 frames per second. So no 60 FPS on the front facing camera. And of course, this is going to be capable of wide angle as well. But I do want to check out a couple of things, check out the camera, check out the speakers and the video and stuff like that for my first impressions. One of the things though is this is a big phone, guys. 6.6 inches compared to 6.4. This feels very nice. This feels big. And of course, I think it looks really good as well. This is definitely going to be one of those nicer looking A series devices. And of course, it's going to have a little bit more of that premium feel than the Galaxy A15. So I'm really liking how this device feels. And again, it's a super big phone. So if you guys aren't into phablets, you guys may want to get something that's a little bit smaller. But getting into the camera right here, of course, we have our photo right here. We have our 12 megapixel camera and we have our 50 megapixel camera that we can change back and forth from. As far as our video goes, we can go full HD, 60 frames per second, UHD, 30 frames per second. We also have our slow motion, our single take, our hyperlapse, our macro camera, our food camera, pro video, which lets you pretty much change like the aperture, white balance, the ISO, all that type of stuff. The night mode right there, that helps you take pictures at night. And we'll do a full review of this camera later on in a separate video, and we'll get you some good samples for you guys later on. Let's go ahead and take a photo though real quick. We are in studio lighting, so this is how this is going to look in studio lighting. One thing I do like about this phone so far, however, is the haptic feedback does actually feel premium. So it feels like a Galaxy S series device. And I feel like a lot of people are not going to be able to tell the difference. Anyway, we have the Galaxy A35 right here, the camera. We're looking at a pretty decent photo right here. It's not oversaturated at all. It looks clear, it looks crisp, it's definitely picking up detail, and yeah, good lighting so far. Of course, we're going to get into other stuff later on, but in good lighting so far, this is looking like a good camera. This is definitely looking like a good camera, and I don't know what sensor is inside of here. I'm not sure if it's the same as the Galaxy A54, so we may see an upgrade in that. But we will check out that later on when we do our camera review. One of the things that I've been seeing this year, in particular, is the stabilization on these cameras has been getting a lot better, in particular with 1080p 60 frames per second and of course 4K. So they've been doing a good job updating their stuff. It's almost up to the grade of like a flagship device from like 2020 or something like that. So these cameras are getting up there. They're doing much better. Kudos to Samsung for that. But the last couple of things I want to do is just go ahead and check out the video, take a look at how the screen looks, and of course take a look at the dual speakers that we have on here, or stereo speakers rather. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Alright guys, so these are the speakers, max volume. Let's go ahead and turn them all the way up and see how this sounds. So speakers on this device sound really premium. No one's gonna have an issue with these. Very, very nice stereo speakers on the Galaxy A35. I'm surprised. Very crisp quality as far as the sound goes. You can definitely see the jump from like the Galaxy A15 at that $200 price tag to this at an almost $400 price tag. Much better sound right here. The surround sound audio that you get from the stereo speakers is really good, so you're getting it in both ears and it's like coming at you from the speaker as well. So very nice crisp speaker, very decent bass on this, and no tin or anything like that at all. So good job on the speakers, Samsung. And of course we're going to do the video test right here, and as far as the video resolution that we can go up to on YouTube is 2160p, 60 frames per second HDR. So YouTube is capable of HDR on this phone. Hyped about that. Let's see how this looks. So we have a beautiful, bright, vivid display on here. Even people that have previously used flagship devices are going to be good with this screen. This is a very, very nice display. And for a little around $400, this is pretty exceptional. So very, very good screen on this device. Also, the capability of HDR in here is really cool. Definitely nice to see that on a sub $400 phone. Everything, you know, put together on here, it looks like a nice device. Of course, as I said before, the Galaxy A54 pretty much has the same specifications as this, other than this is a little bit of a bigger phone, and of course this is going to have Android 14 UI 6.1 outside of the box. So those are pretty much the only differences. I'm really hoping that Samsung puts this at like a $349 price tag. I know that we're gonna have holiday deals and stuff like that on this device, but so far this is a really nice device. I just would have hoped that the Galaxy A55 was released over here, but compared to the Galaxy A34, there was a much improved device right here. It just kind of sucks that the Galaxy A54 users or the A53 users that want to upgrade to the A55 don't get to do that. So as far as it stands, the Galaxy A35 is a good device. I really do like this device. I think the price point, however, if they release it at $400 is a little off because you can just pick up the Galaxy A54. But as it stands right now, I can definitely recommend this device. I do like this. There's definitely been changes from what I've seen from the Galaxy A34 to the A35. And I'm just kind of happy that the A30 series is back in the US, even though we lost the Galaxy A50 series. So all in all, the Galaxy A35 so far is a very, very solid device. Again, if you guys have any questions or opinions or whatever you guys have, leave it in the comment section down below. I would love to know what you guys think about this device. But hopefully you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. This has been Safan from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.